Hey folks, it's Son of Beast and Terry Crews here, and it's another NHL 26 of Season 5 on EA Sports Style. This next matchup, we are going back to America for our next great matchups. This time, the Anaheim Ducks have won last season, and for the Minnesota Wilds, they haven't found it clearly to make that one with the hugest range to keep things from playing. After this point, this is where the next matchup meets. The Ducks face against the Wilds here at the Grand Casino Arena, formerly known as the XL Energy Arena. But this time, we're about to find out with some new players running the range. And the starting goaltenders are Dostal and Philip Gustafsson for the starting goaltenders from both teams. As my next commentary supporters, I have a next one across is OJ from Minnesota, along with Gelatin. And in the center ice, I will now send it over to Ray Ferraro that will be joining us here for tonight's part of the game. This matchup, as we're about to start, here are the visiting teams for the Anaheim Ducks. We start things here before we get on to the other side of the Wilds. Leo Carlson has one of the pressure tees and the tape-to-tape zones. Along with Miguel Granlund from the transfer from the Sharks, he makes it a send-it pass and the tape-to-tape zones. And Troy Terry, which of course he makes a quick release, he also has the same thing too. Then we have a couple players from recruiting from the New York Rangers. It's Chris Kreider, which is a big rig and a big tipper, and Jacob Trouba from the True Lensless. It's destructive shoulder checks. Then we have his Mason McTavish with the quick release of zones and the no contest abilities. Plus, we also have his Radko Gudas with the Trilensis and the Hipster and the Warrior. Then across is Ryan Strome with the tape-to-tape zones. Powerful passes are the great ones to take. Then it's Golem Zellweger with the elite edges and a send-it pass. And it's Frank Vetrano with a spark plug and pressure. And finally, it's Pavel Mityukov with wheels and send-it pass. It's scoring for the breakout ability on her own. Now let's go ahead and get things lined up to prepare for the other team, the starting groups for Minnesota Wilds. Guess what? The good news is Minnesota Wilds have now brought back in one of the superstars back to America. Welcome home to America. We start with Quinn Hughes, a transfer from the Vancouver Canucks. He has one of his elite edges to make the second win. This is called the Instantaneous Stamina Regeneration, and he was able to try to show it off how he does, with some send it on the boost. Along with Kirill Kaprizov, he makes the wheels and a quick release on the effortless. Matthew Boldy with the quick release and the pressure. Matt Zuccarello with the send it and the tape zones. Jonas Brodin with the wheels and stick 'em up, along with the quick pick with the effortless interceptions. Brock Faber, which also makes it the second win too from Quinn Hughes. He also has it from elite edges and tape-to-tape zones. Then along with that is Joel Eriksson Ek with the no contest and Warrior. Along with this player goes with Jared Spurgeon. Stick 'em up and a quick pick is long the way down. Then we have his Jacob Middleton, a stick 'em up and a quick pick release with the interceptions and pickups. Then we have his Marcus Foligno, two lenses and a Warrior hit. Then it's Velimir Tarasenko. It's one of our quick release and takes the deceptively quick shots from the Ottawa Senators and from the Detroit Red Wings. He now has been showing things what Tarasenko can do to have it on his next level. And finally, we have his Yakov Trenin. One of his true lensless after National Predators and 1-year contract, he's succeedingly done for the finish for the Minnesota Wilds. But now, what will they do for the next one? You're about to find out during the Wilds as they're ready to face things on for the next big game. Alright, time to get on and send you down to St. Paul, Minnesota. Guys, all you, Ducks, Wilds, coming up next after this. It's happening now in St. Paul, Minnesota. Hi everybody, I am OJ and I'm here on my broadcast party along with Gelatin and Center Ice, Ray Ferraro. Well, it's about to get time now in Minnesota as we're running for the puck drop. Opening biscuit drop is underway, and we are ready to roll. Starting goaltenders for the Minnesota Wilds is Philip Gustafsson. And the other side for the Anaheim Ducks we have is Dostal. Starting players are Edmund Hartman. He will slide it over to Quinn Hughes. He'll have it send it off pass to Faber. Faber will start things slowly here, and he will have it around the back to Kirill Kaprizov. Behind the cage, now looking at it again. Zuccarello's pass broken up, and it will send all the way down into Minnesota territory. Minnesota will grab their own offensive zone, as now here's Hughes. He rushes right toward the zone, now finds it again to Zuccarello. Zuccarello moves it around, now finding it again to Brock Faber. He finds Quinn Hughes. Quinn Hughes looks over to Faber, and he finds the Zuccarello. Well, now finds off to Hughes with a big pass. Where Kaprizov shot, and a big step pad made by Dostal. That'll be his first save of the night. He will stop that play with only 18-20. Since we talked about this, and we are looking forward to see what the Wilds have, as for the new recruiter, it's Quinn Hughes. Playing in front of Vancouver Canucks after we seen him for just a couple seasons ago. But good news is, they brought him here in America. That's right. America is one of our biggest and the famous, and everybody's loving it on Quinn Hughes. The most good generation, I was really able to spot it on, and I wasn't sure how he was able to keep things in. The one thing I wanted to talk about him now is that Quinn Hughes has been like effortless. He's been showing it what he can definitely do for his teammate. And when he does for that time, he can definitely just try to show things off and then make some teammates want them great. Kirill Kaprizov, and then from Nancy Carrillo, I think this is going to be a great team. I think the fans are going to love him to make his reaction. So I think the time to shine is now is on Quinn Hughes. Let's see how he can handle this for this season. To orange shot. Pass! Kick save made by Philip Gustafsson. And it's spun all the way around right near the blue line. Alex Killorn shot saved by Gustafsson. Stopped the play with only 16:23 remaining in the first period. As it's ready for another puck drop. Still a lot of time effort in the period. Minnesota Wilds and Anaheim Ducks are scoreless in the first period. The win for the Ducks. That blocks a shot and goes off the glass, and it's rebounded by Foligno. I wasn't spotting that on, but that was a big blocking shot it was after working for. This is where I was going to be in troublemaking. So whenever you do this for, you're playing an offense or defense, you have no idea when the puck is coming around. So you're going to have to watch your timing carefully. McTavish right toward in the wing. Trying to move back over to Lacombe shot. Off the stick it goes to Hunt, and rebound by Jerzik again to Foligno. Foligno fighting again to Jurek. Jurek goes down. Another rebound by the Ducks. Golfer shot. This well covered up by Golfiston. And now he's over to Hunt. The Wilds are back in the offensive zone with a new line group change. It's now Hyatt. Hyatt now into the wing, and he'll have that pass to Jurek. Looks to Kaprizov back on ice with Zuccarello. Pass over to Hunt. Here's a shot. Glove save by Dostal. Dostal will cover things in with only just 14:31 remaining in the first period. A big action here as we are talking about Hartman and their teammate. What we know from the last part of the season, they clutched their way to the playoffs, and just a couple seasons ago, from season 2, they beat out the Winnipeg Jets, but it wasn't enough that they really had been keeping an eye. The last part of it was that they already beat their team against one of the competitions afterwards as they made their way to the playoffs the last couple of seasons, and then there was the last season that they missed their postseason on the last effort. They didn't spot it on and make out with a great catch. Well, sometimes you need to do for is you have to watch in. Otherwise, when you don't have the right shot, you don't want to make a mistake. For the Wilds, this is really what it comes into. So you don't have to mess things up and then try to keep running it over and over again. That's what happens with Minnesota Wilds. They really, sure enough, they want to clutch their way to the playoffs. They've been really good for this season. And for new recruiters from Brock Fabers, Brock Nelson, Quinn Hughes, you name it. That's what we are really looking for to keep it in. Here's Brock Faber, now finally again to Hughes. He'll have it again. Zuccarello shots blocked. Kaprizov with the rebound, now finds to Hughes. Looks over for Faber. Faber shoots. Blocked, saved by Dostal. Back again to Hughes. Looks again to Zuccarello. Pass Kaprizov shot. Oh, save made by Dostal. What a denying effort here, and he will hold things on with only 12:34 remaining. That's when you see things with the hugest rebound effort, and you don't really know how that's going to keep an eye on this. This is where it really seeing this with a great blocking effort. That's where that goalie was going to come back. Deep side of the zone, and now as the rebound will make its way by Colangelo. Here's Harkins' shot. It's huge save by Gustafsson. Harkins in middle, Foligno behind it. That's another huge stop made by Gustafsson. Harkins with the pass. Here comes the other one. And a big save by Gustafsson. Brock Faber takes one back, and they'll now have it again to Triton. Triton looks over to Urov. In middle, Hughes goes down. Rebounded up by the Ducks. Anaheim back in the offensive zone. It's Harkins in the wing. Stuck in the corner wall. Valley for loose puck in effort. Goes with the hand and he scores! Wow, what a cut here. And it's Harkins in his first goal as his third of the season. Now look at this happen. This is the puck battle. He's right in the range, and this is where the middle comes in. He was not, and there's a good help on the teammate. When it happens with Poling and he was given it over by Harkins, that's where it comes in. You have a little quick snapping time, and this effort was really right into the net. What a great effort here by Anaheim Ducks. That's where the first goal comes in. So Harkins with the first goal. He is now at 3 in his season, and he's trying to make his first goal to add it for 2 more of his effort for the regulation season. Spotting that one on here for Harkins. I mean, that's where it comes down. Good save by Gustafsson. The rebound by Jake Middleton. Kicks it over after the puck battling along the boards. Jared Spurgeon on the Kaprizov. That's one sends out of the zone, and that will be an icing on Minnesota. Just nearing the midway mark in the period, as now it's still at 1-0 Anaheim. I got a spot on Golfer. That was right over on Spurgeon. This is a big win. That's a bang. That's where the captain was going to go down. And when this happens with Golfer, that's where the big hit comes in. That's what you really have to watch on. And now we'll send it over to the center ice. I will now have it over is Ray Ferraro. Thanks, guys. Talking about the puck and arrangement and Ryan spotting it on from Quinn Hughes is one of his greatest artist technique, and his motion is a skill making. The puck is battled along with it really well on the playing effort. What he really needs to do now is he has to make it controversial to have his new creation. This goal has to be making it for Quinn Hughes to have his better range on the attack.
Score
this
for
is what
Anaheim.
happens with the patience
His
from
first
this
goal of the
offense,
season, his
and his
16th of
striking
his career.
is a better one to
Score by
have.
number 24,
I'm watching here on
Jason
Quinn Hughes to have one of his goal range.
Assisted by number
Let's see how they
25,
can
Ryan
handle it,
Bullock.
guys. Thanks,
Got the
Ryan.
goal,
We're
8
finally
minutes,
getting
53
Jerkic
seconds
again
in
to
the first
Middleton.
period. Spencer Harkins, his
Here's
third
a
of the
deep
season,
stop by
assisted
Dostal.
by
We're gonna
Ryan
go slow
Bullock
under a
in the
midway
first
mark of
period
close.
at 8 minutes, 53 seconds.
Well, this is the big hit happened with Jared Spurgeon, and there is where the deep one zones, and this is where that hit comes afterwards. Jared Spurgeon, he's really uncomfortable, and he's going to have to say he's not looking to return on ice. A disappointing effort with the Anaheim Mighty Ducks slam, as Jared Spurgeon is in the medical room. We'll have an update with you soon for the start of the second period, but now we'll find out what happens with Jared Spurgeon if anything changes. Here's Jessic now finding again back him Stroza as he's on ice for the first time with the team. Now here's Foligno finding again up on the show. Pass number right finding the gate. Looks to Jerkic. Now finding up on Stroza and a shooting shoot save made by Dostal. Scott McTavish the other way for the Ducks with 8:30 remaining in first. Spins around, Golfer's shot, blocked by Hunt, saved by Gustafsson. Hugest save of the effort now by only 8:22 remaining in the first period. Now sending the other way for the Ducks, I will now have it over to Ray for Chris Kreider. Chris Kreider is really one of his great takes in his own speeding effort. After the transfer over from the New York Rangers, the last time he was here with Jacob Trouba, he was really up to it in the next accomplishment to give his own great range. I'm watching on his play action there, guys. What talks about Chris Kreider? He's one of his great goals for the captain. I'm looking forward to seeing what is Chris Kreider going to keep his release, but the time is a good thing for him. I'll back over to you, OJ. After a save made by Hinostroza, now here's Jacob Trouba. 7:20 remaining in the first period. He'll lost that one here in the Spetsy. Jacob Trouba. Trying to cut in the zone. Now finding Miguel Granlund and a shot. That one is broken up by Hughes. He'll now send it over to Brock Faber. Brock Faber slows things down. Now finds it over to Sturm. Looks again to Hughes. Hughes looks over the pass to Pitlick. Again to Faber. Again to Sturm. Keeps moving puck alive for the Minnesota Wilds. Faber moving around again. Now find the Pitlick. Pitlick needs some regroup here. Hughes with the cut motion, trying to look over to Stern. Puck escapes his zone, and this will rebound by Brock Faber. Here's over to Pitlick the other way. He's on the cut. Goes down. Here's Jones. Jones the other way. Pass set made by Dostal. And now goes over to Jacob Struba the other way. What a pass save this is. I was not really describing it how that happened with Dostal. That's huge a save. The other way was really picked up. Here comes Hartman. Hartman losing around with the puck. He's set made by Dostal. 5:16 remaining in the first period. He'll lose things up at the time effort, and he'll get ready for another puck drop. And look at how it happened with Jorge Ventura. This is where the big kickers really ranking his truants. And when this really made, he was really been staying up there for that long. As the Ducks wins the faceoff, here's Mitnikov. He will have it over D for the Anaheim Ducks. Skating his wheels, now finds Poland. And that's given by Gabriel Kaprizov. Kaprizov cuts in his own. Breaks down, now finds Zuccarello. Doesn't find the cut in motion, now finds the Mitnikov. Finding Kaprizov. Kaprizov losing the puck in his zone. And now Kalango finding to Harkins. Harkins trying to watch it, and Zuccarello takes it over. Passing deep over to Kaprizov. Kaprizov! Great defensive effort for the Ducks. Here's Harkins. Move around shot. Stopped by Gustafsson. Tarasenko will start things off as Minnesota back the other way. Pass off to Drennan. And he will have it rebounded over by Poling again to Colangelo. Colangelo right around it. And the backhander stopped by Gustafsson. But he'll hold it free skier with only 3:20 remaining. Still a lot of time left to remain in the period. 1-0 to score for Anaheim as they already had taken the lead for a shocking start by Harkins. Zellweger shoots. That one is deflected and rebounded by the Ducks. And a great stop made here by Gustafsson. That deep pass to Tarasenko. Here's Tarasenko the other way from the wing. Trying to look for a saucer pass, but it's golf here again. Now finding to Gudas. Gudas looks to Zellweger. Zellweger's shot has been knocked off, and escape now finding Quinn Hughes. Here comes a 2-on-1 fast break! By the middle, stop by Dostal! What a save by the Ducks! And now the Wilds keep the rebound in. Wow, what an excellent effort. That's where that first one comes in by. For Dostal, he was really looking forward into it. That was crazy. When he spot on for Lucas Dostal, this is where the 2-on-1 comes in. This fast break was right into the muscle. He was really looking it off, and I was not spotting that one on. That is where that first comes to a save. This one analyzes, it really got him to improve. Still a lot of time left remaining as we're nearing the 2-minute mark in the first period, past the 2-minute mark. Center slide in, and the rebound wait to save in by Hartman. Keeps moving around. Here's Zuccarello's shot, redirected by Hartman. Back to Faber again to Hughes. Hughes looks over. Back to Quinn Hughes. Quinn Hughes looks to Kaprizov. Backhand will try to go from there blocking and a maze deflector, and it's back to Chris Kreider. Right around the net. Off to Brock Faber. He'll now find Hughes. Send a deep zone right over to Hartman. Spins the move. Down to a
Just
final
1 minute remaining in the first period.
Off to Hughes. Hughes looks to Hartman. Here's a shot. Goes for a glove. Snatched by Dostal. 48 seconds remaining in the first period as they're still trying to look for a goal. Still gaining a lot of use of the effort. The Wild still trailing by 1. Another win for Hartman. He now finds Hughes. Hughes looks over to Faber. Right to Zuccarello. Backhander! He takes the pipe out the outside and rebound by Mitnikov. I thought that was going to be in there for that reason, and this is nowhere how he was really racing it in. That was like a dang up on the play. Hartman down to 10 seconds remaining in the first period. Gotta make a move. Backhander is blocked. Kaprizov. Right around the wing, and that will not make it in time. That will end the first period with a 1-0 score. Minnesota trails by 1, but only Harkins with some great help on the battle along the board to take a 1-0 lead. We'll be back with you soon for the second period after the break. Hey everyone, welcome to the first intermission as we are ready to prepare things on for the first track after the first period. There was one race with the action track that made a lot of goals, but the one from the quick draw from the slamming along the boards clashing to give it over was Harkins. He has that first goal to take 4 shots on the range, but the big effort doesn't really take things all. As after the finishing one, it was 15/13 shots on goal for Anaheim over Minnesota, 12 hits over 4 for Anaheim, 624 over 129 for Minnesota, 90 over 89 percentage for Anaheim, and 8 over 6 face-off wins for Anaheim. Well, didn't seem to last that long, but we've got a lot of them coming. Alright, Son of Beast, what's your take on Anaheim Ducks, and how did they get that one with the quick draw scrumming along the board to have that goal? Well, I bet that this is the first part of the goal that happens after the clash to give it off defensive along the boards was Harkins, and this is the big one to take the range. This is where the coaches were giving him some recommendations on the feedback. That's where that first goal really made it in for Harkins. That first goal did not start off that really well, but that one really had it on the odd angle. I mean, I have no idea how that one made it in, but that's where that first goal really looked like it was going to be harmed out. But nothing to say about this. Anaheim needs to be cracked up before the start of it. I mean, this is where it goes in. And now with the hit on Jared Spurgeon, he's looking forward not returning on ice, as unfortunately this will have to end for him. What about you, Terry, for the Minnesota Wilds? Well, I bet this is not going to start off. I mean, what happened? We lost Jared Spurgeon, the captain for the Minnesota Wilds, and looks like he's now out, and we'll have to see if Quinn Hughes will try to see how we can handle this. And I thought there was a big fight going on initiative right into the center ice. I don't see anything going on. It looks like they were stopping this. Nothing's going on. Looks like this is definitely where it hits. The baddest on the hit where the Ducks really made Mighty Storm, that's Big Pow. We'll go back to Minnesota as the first intermission comes to the end as OJ and Gelatin stands by to get started for the second period. Guys, it's all for you. See you back after the second period. Welcome back, folks, as we're ready to get started for the second period. And we're off to start. As players are rehydrated and back on ice, we're about to resume for the second period. All right, Gelatin, I know this has been a big problem with that, but how do you find anything going on with the Minnesota Wild's team? Well, there's nothing been like this. I mean, the only thing I know for is that the Mighty Ducks have been knocking down with only one player, and that means the only one that is out and hurt is Jared Spurgeon. Looks like in center ice, we'll find out what's going on. If anything is changed, but we'll have to see about that one later. Zuccarello finds Kaprizov. The pass almost been broken up, and Hughes will now find the Faber. Faber, he's been bumped out, and it now gives to Goffer. Crowd hating on Goffer that time, as he has that puck, and out of the way is Quinn Hughes. A deep pass over to Zuccarello. Nice cut of motion here. No penalty on the Anaheim Ducks. Trying to move around and forward. That one goes badly. And it goes right back to Granlund. Granlund move around in his own, and it's been picked up by Drzic. I'll set to Urov. Urov moving around to the side is stopped by Gostal. 17:27 remaining in the second period as they're getting ready for the next puck drop. Alright, I do have an update here from Ray Ferraro from Jared Spurgeon. What happened here? Well, thanks, guys. I've been talking to one of the medical staff, and what happened with this is Jared Spurgeon, after the fight happened in the first period, he is permanently out. He is out of here now, and with all that happened with the bone facial and the bone treatment, he has been hurt and will not be playing it for the rest of the periods. This is being said as for Jared Spurgeon, he'll be remained out and suspended for the rest of the periods. Thank you, folks, Jay. As we're noticing about what happened with only the one game before, Jared Spurgeon, we will never forget, and we'll see what happens if anything has changed from one of the goals, and probably we'll find out if anything goes in with the speedy recovery for the Wilds. It's been a disastrous one afterward. I mean, we always got to say, It kind of stinks out. Height. Back to pass to Drujic. Drujic pass that finds the Hunt. Hunt pass to Drujic. Fires it. Blocker save. Mr. on a rebound chance. Stop made again by the goaltender. Need the crowd not finding over to Senecki. Anaheim back in offense zone. Hunt takes it over with the interception. Over to Hyatt. Hyatt's got it back. No offside on Minnesota. Hyatt back over now to Drujic. Here's Hunt. Shoots blocked up by Foligno. Backhand glove save by Dosa. Dosa's going to hang on and we'll get ready for another puck drop with just past the 15-minute mark in the second period. Still plenty of action to be kept in for Minnesota as they trail by 1 over Anaheim. Hyatt wins the faceoff, has it to Hunt. Hunt shoots, never saved by Dosa. Foligno right around it. Oh my goodness! He ringed the pipe, and that's the second time he's been spotting out here for tonight. Yeah, I mean, I was not even sure how he was going to keep it in there. That thing was a big doink, and that one just stayed out. Almost would have been ricocheting in the net. And you know that they're expecting how they were telling this? Well, because that happens that you don't really get the puck control, it just go right to the pipe. That may be just a helpful way to try to keep the puck in the zone. Here's Lacombe, keeps us out now around the net, and Quentin Hughes got it across the other way. He'll now find the Hartman. Minnesota on the attack. Pass to Zuccarello's been broken up by Harkins. He dumps it out here, and the puck will send it to the bleachers. So plenty of action to be here as 89 over 87 percentage for Minnesota. They're still trying to watch things from gathering around. Hartman wins the faceoff. And here's Zuccarello. Zuccarello wipes out. What a great D by Lacombe. Stopping on gun for his favor. He's getting away. Choked it up. Now here's Hartman. The Wilds are back in offensive zone as Trudeau gives it back to Strode. Knocked it over. Here's Kaprizov. On the attack now, trying to look for the range. Kaprizov fires a shot. Never saved by Dostal. Given away by Kaprizov. And back on ice is Jurchek. Jurchek finds it over to Jones. Jones, nowhere to find. Now Trouba will have it again to Strome. Ryan Strome dumps it into Minnesota territory. And Jurchek the other way. Jurchek with the rebounding safe. In his zone. No penalty been given up here for Anaheim. With only 11:27 remaining in the second period. A dangerous attack here for Mityukov as he's trying to make him hit as they're looking for a next faceoff win for Minnesota. Now the win will be Anaheim. Here's Hillison. Now after Colangelo. In the way, now having to pass the pulling. Jake Middleton takes a steal. Minnesota giving the puck away, and it's now back to the Wilds for Middleton. Try to go for the back pass to Hillison to Pitlick. And he's broken in. Battling along the defensive board. Middleton. In middle. Almost went in. Oh my goodness, the servant almost had that great goal. But now it's back to Faber. Here's Hughes. Shoots. Glove save by Dostal. Just 10-10 remaining in the second period. They would have been able to get that one with the first goal and release. Now they're ready for the next puck drop into Minnesota to the Anaheim territory. Both teams have a clear to study for the face-off puck drop. Now the win for Anaheim after an early start for Yurkov. He keeps that zone around the net. And Hughes got that one back. He's over now. Terrence Seiko on the rush. Moves around. Spins it. Trying to miss that backhander. Another save by Dostal. Here's Hughes. Here's moves around. Saved by Dostal. Hughes with the rebound out front of York. He was sending it right now. Spreading a message. And he was really been working it off. That Quinn Hughes is definitely going to have to get back on the way. He really did not want that to be paid out. And the puck escapes the zone. Quinn Hughes back in the offense zone. Hughes looking around. Here's a shot. Chance for Foligno. He took the pipe again. Johnston. Pass broken by Hyatt. And Ostroza. Off to Foligno. No penalty on Anaheim. It's been wiping it up clearly and knocking over the Wild players. Hunt shoots. No deflection had been given here for the Wilds. Under 8 minutes in a second past the midway mark. Here's the check. Juracek with a shot. That was stopped by Dostal. On the full pressure he goes. Foligno. Juracek. Snaps by Dostal. Oh man, if easy save is never going to keep coming back, because he will have to freeze it here. You can see that Lucas Dostal, he has really been like pushing himself. The patient wasn't really able to like keep things up to it, but that's when you notice that save in the period was legit. This is nowhere that you really are going to find that one afterwards. Minnesota trying to spread out with the girls to have it tied up is still a 1-0 lead Anaheim. Stern wins the faceoff. He now has it again to Juracek. Here's Hunt. Hunt fires it off the helmet. And rebound by Stern. Now has it again to Hunt. Hunt looks over to Juracek. He'll have that. Swings it on fire. Missed it on a shot. Pitlick with the rebound. Jones outside. Pass to Hunt. Shoots. Another save made by the goaltender. He's running out of stamina. It's going to have to try to clear it out. Shoots. Misses again. Hunt with the rebound. Finding Jones. Jones passes the Hunt. Hunt shoots. He ring the pipe again. Brock Faber. Pass to Jones. Copper. And finally they clear it out. Faber rolls back into the net. Reaches in his own. Trying to spin it across. Nowhere to get contest on the shot. And that one will roll it again to Jacob Trouba. Trouba off to Guffier. Show. Good with the big hit on a hello moment by Quinn Hughes. And Hartman the other way. On the attack for Minnesota. Pass off to Faber. Faber looks to Hartman, blocking the shot. Rebounds by Strome. Now Mitchell Kraft the other way for the Anaheim Ducks. Here's Granlund. Granlund pass to Pulling. Pulling shot. That one carries it over. And pass to Urov the other way. 4:30 remaining in the second period. At Tarasenko. Pass broken up. Urov. Back to Tarasenko. Chance for the shot. He kicked it out again by Dostal. Juracek. Pass to Tarasenko. Wrist the shot. Another save by Dostal. Middleton wrap around in. Gets right to trying another shot. Release move. Trying to have that rebound go back in the net, but it's tipped out. Here's Tarasenko. Behind the net. Neither helping on the offense zone. Off Middleton, Juracek shot. Disc gets deflected. And rebound by Urov. Trouba's got it out. And back to Brandon. It's taken away by Middleton. Middleton shoots in the range, able to rebound. That one is knocked up with the goaltender. Foligno. Juracek. Flying Foligno. Shoots. Saved by Dostal. Poling takes that one out. And now find Foligno. Foligno still heaving it in. Foligno goes for the stoppage. Not finding a Harkin. Anaheim back over again to Jacob Trouba. And he'll have that one cleared out. Now Middleton will have it again to Juracek. Keep that one over the other way. Keep the middle to Foligno. Shot, he scores! It's a tie game. Foligno with the goal. Now watch what happened with this play. You notice no kind of motion that is in middle range, and this pass gets right by Foligno. That is where you get spot on, and that is where that first goal really comes in. After Dostal wild save, here's Foligno. Marcus had really made up with a good look. He was nowhere to be off on a timing start, but that is where you get the first goal. That one complains in. That is where that comes in to have it close up. The Wilds have tied this one up with under 2 minutes remaining in the second period, and now they have even the scores. Well, that happens with only one, and no option will be able to do for plenty. And when I got to tell you now, when the Wilds have a scoring, this is big option.
Goal of his career, scored by number 17.
So Nike loses one and rebounded by Quinn Hughes. Good use looks over to Hestroza. Lost that one, rebounded up by the Ducks.
And by number 5,
Sudeki chance in the middle, stopped by Gustafson.
Time to go. 18
Just under
minutes,
a minute
14
remaining
seconds in the second period.
As
Marcus
they'll have that one
Foligno,
ready
his
for
10th of the
another
season.
bucket.
Assisted by David Juracek and
Still
Joe
a lot of
Middleton.
hits here for
At the time
Anaheim.
at 18 minutes, 14 seconds in the
with the
second
big hit.
period.
And it's now an even game as the crowd fans love it.
Just 1 minute
Shoots
remaining in
it
the second
off the
period.
leg and rebounded by Kaprizov. To Zuccarello, he just couldn't get over. Kudos lost that one, and it's now Kaprizov. Oh, he's looking for a fast-paced wheel. Number one in the net. Rebounded by Kaprizov, and it's Kudos with the rebound in the other way by Chris Kreider. Johnson back over to Chris Kreider. Kreider, what will he do? That one gives a lot favor around the other way, and that will stop him play the end of the second period. This rebound is a seal to deal. That goes with Marcus Foligno with cut in middle to tie it up. 1-1's the score. Third period's coming up next after the break. Hey folks, welcome to the second intermission on EA Sports for the NHL 26. This is where it comes into with the closest game effort, as we have a look at the standings here for the second intermission, as we've got the Wilds with the 33/16 shots on goal. Then it was 30/13 for the Anaheim Ducks. They were really been pressing it up that ever since he was able to keep that one out further left of the heart. Then for the passing effectiveness, 89/88. Close passing effectiveness really would have kept that one out, but that's where that really took it in. And 13/11 face-off wins for Anaheim. They kept on smacking, and they couldn't stop doing the favor. All right there, I know what you're looking at for now with Minnesota Wilds. They're all tied up. What do you have to say about this one? Well, that close game really made that one a provable on their luck of the score. They were really been stepped out for the best range. With Marcus Foligno, he had a great cut in motion, and that after again to Vicek, he would have this amazing percentage to have this goal. And one-time effort, he wouldn't have stopped the deal with some big West Coast matchups to have that West teams in the standings right in toward the middle and one for the Pacific. It won't be like after all to keep that one from racing in and out. Minnesota has been fighting it for the first period, but now the second period, they got it tied up. How about you there, Terry, for Anaheim? Well, Anaheim seemed to be enjoying this, and he really had been keeping it going over and under. Without Jared Spurgeon, I bet this one makes it a Ducks with a huge smackdowns afterward. That's Mighty Bird takedown. Even if you call it from the Angry Birds for the Angry Ducks, they're just making him go mighty, quacking everyone on the Wilds. You got no idea how this would change it up, do you? Well, I definitely did. I mean, I was noticing how the Ducks really made. This is what happens when it gets hard. Don't mess up with the Wild defenders. All right, fellas, I know what you're ready for. The third period is underway, so that will conclude the second intermission. Third period's about to get started, and who will take the lead? Minnesota or Anaheim? You're about to find out next on EA Sports. Now back to Grand Casino Arena. OJ, you have it all. It all comes down to this in the third period. We're even ready for puck drop. Are you ready? It's about to go things down for the wildest of the game to see what goes on. Third period starts now. All right, Gelatin, I know what you're spotting into now. Let's have your take in the second period. Well, what a wonderful on the comeback range. I was absolutely watching on Marcus Foligno with the hugest rebounding effort. No contest ability, and I'm watching on this play. There's so many shots that he could have taken, and this one was a lot of big off the goal pipe. He would never have that range at all. And then this second period, that's where it come in. Because after this happened with Juracek, it was right over to Foligno. He was really speeding it up, and that one is right into the net. You have to give that credit to Marcus Foligno. Despite to say that Marcus Foligno really had a great run of his own score, but now, what will the other teams do? You're about to witness and find out where the lead takes on. Puck escapes his own, and now he skews. He'll have his own rebound back into the offense zone in the Anaheim disposition. Now here's a chance over to Kaprizov. Kaprizov chance now finds the other favor. Zuccarello, what a stop by Costa. He almost had that rebound in. Here he shoots, breaks the pipe. That's 2 in a row, and now we have 4 go off the pipes. This is craziness, and nobody is able to get there by. Well, I've been spotting that one out here. There's no ricochet, but you cannot get into the net. You have to fix it on your own. Whenever you have the right timing, I think you need a puck to have that one deflection. Oh, he tipped it in! He scores! Someone has done it, and it's good news for the rebound to have that goal. I gotta watch this thing again. I mean, with Quinn Geese had a release, this is where that comes in, and then he just had it pumped up, and I don't know where he was going. It just missed it, and then what happened? It was right into the net. I wasn't even sure how Quinn Hughes got the piece of it, but this right into the net, I don't know where his puck was going. Did it go in? Did it stop? Well, he did not. Because now Quinn Hughes, he has now taken a lead in the third period, and he has his own goal to take the credit. Despite the save for this one for Quinn Hughes, and unluckily on a save, as the lucky goal made that one in for Minnesota, they climb back to the top. This was a huge save by Gustafsson on the team. They need to find something.
Number 43.
Yeah, I know. I mean, this is not what they were really dreaming of.
Time to go. 2 minutes and 2 seconds in the third period.
A nice
That's
effort to
Quinn
keep that
Hughes
going
with
back
his
up into the
17th
top.
goal of the season, his 60th of his career.
Here's Hartman to
Unassisted
find
by
again
a
the
team.
favor. He'll
At
find
the
it
time,
again to
2 minutes and 2
Zuccarello.
seconds in the third
Pass over to
period.
Hartman. He'll have that one get to Zuccarello. Shoots it deep, try to get deflection, and it bounces puck off the ice and rebounded by Alex Killorn. Pass broken up. Rebound by Truba, and a shot almost missed it. What a save by Gustafsson. And goes right back to Hartman. Oh my goodness. What a lucky one to make it save. That Gustafsson is going to really pay it up to dike the dust. Quinn Hughes will now find the Euro and Tarasenko. It's back to Alex Killorn. Alex Killorn enters the zone. On the big range, he'll have it right around the net. And Juracek has his own rebound. Whoa, he stripped it deep. What a play by Juracek. He tries to do 2 more, but it doesn't not even perfect. That's what happens when you need to deke it. It's really like showing. I thought nobody has ever done that. But that's what happens to deke motion. Juracek kind of got it on. Now I'm watching on Gustafsson. He was really like a wildest save it. This is where that comeback is inbounded by the Ducks. He was really hard. He was like, I'm not really pointing up here. I'm just really going to get that one quite huge save. He was almost going to miss that right away. What a huge save. You can talk about Philip Gustafsson with the hugest save without Marc-Andre Fleury. He really had it all with a great piece here for Gustafsson to have this hugest save. Big no rebounds here. They might have to show it off how Gustafsson can handle it. Next 6 big take, I mean, I have to say he's really up to the huge effort. Got to keep moving. Trying to get to Hyatt, but it's been broken by Harkins. The Ducks are back in offense, and here comes pulling shot. Huge blocker save made by Gustafsson. And rebounded by Akanis Joseph. Here's Foligno, the pass over to Georgia. The spin over. That pass broken by Hellison. Anaheim racing toward the other way, and they will have to be over the line. This will be offside. This is another huge save when you're talking about this, Gelatin. With this compacted inbounding, I'd love to see that game of the play for Philip Gustafsson. That's where he would be coming in to have his great range. Yeah, it's easy now with Philip Gustafsson. He was really been like deking it out. And what are the best saves? He's been like capping it out. All for nothing. Lots of time left to be played in this period. Minnesota up on the board. It's 2-1. That's what gives to Anaheim the win as Mitkov enters the Wild's territory. McTavish broken up by Middleton. And the blocking pass now has it again to Jurchek. Jurchek swings it around. He wants to do some another deep. Middleton. Jurchek goes right back to Middleton. And pass in the middle is given by Miknikov again to Golfier. Golfier going for a take to Miknikov. Shot blocked, and Jurchek will clear that zone out. With a new line group change, and that's going to be an icing on Minnesota. Lots of time left to be played in this period. Still looking for Ryan Strome to win the face-off. He's like trying to battle the attack in the off-center of the zone. But what happened? They just need to keep it going. Yeah, I think they do. I think they must keep going. They just have to try to go for some big takes. They need offense to score. There's no better time than you need to be there. After a bump out, Hartman trying to put a rebound as Kudas takes it over to Golfer. Pass to McTavish. Scott McTavish shot, another save by Gustafson. And Gustafson will now have it to Zuccarello with some new changing on the line group. He speeds down his own. Here's Middleton. Minnesota on the attack is now Kirill Kaprizov. Both men go down. That's another hit by Kudas. Quinn Hughes has got that puck. The Wilds go back in offensive zones. On the drive again to Trenton. Gakov Trenton will have to send it across into the corner of the wall. And Trenton try to have the own rebound attack. Alex Killorn. The pass again to Wilwiger. Keeps that zone around the net, and Quentin Hughes will have it. Now he's off to Tarasenko, and he has that pass to Urov. Off to Skater, and that one will easy it up for Dostal. And that was another big shot, and that one's too deep. He'll have his own rebound as Owego. We passed the midway mark in the third period, and he'll have it again to Colangelo. Can't give it a here. And here's Quinn Hughes. Quinn Hughes struggled to make it big here. No penalty on Anaheim. And Jacob Trouba has it past to Poling. Poling pass over now again to Lacombe. Here's Pitlick. Again to Jones. Jones right into the wall. He drifts it right to her side. And Quinn Hughes will grab it. This rebound is going to keep on coming back. And that really makes it Quinn Hughes. He was really staggered to get it out. Brock Faber, again to Jones. Here's Hughes. Faber shoots. Stop by Dostal. Again to Sinek. Sinek. Roll around in there. Inostroza has that one going over. And he'll have to put it down the ice. This will give an icing on Minnesota. This is what happens with Kudas, and this is where the hugest kid is. Watch what happens. You see this there's attack? That's because of Kudas is really keeping it a long way down. When this big kid really made it in, there's no way to just try to stop the heartbeat. He's really up to the hugest defender. This is going to be a hard take when you try to give that one to defenders a huge win on the faceoff. This is a big defender effort. Double man's on the attacker. Now back to Faber. Faber rolls things down. Here's Hyatt. Hughes shoots. Blocker saved by Dostal. And here's Johnston. They'll give over to Foligno. He tried to look for two again. Quick shot. Another save by Dostal. Under 7 remaining in the first period. They're still looking for a faceoff to get it. Yeah, they do. They really have to keep on moving again. The win by Hyatt. Here's Faber. Faber with the cut. Going for backhander. Poked up by Dostal. Poked it by Hughes. Faber gives it back. The Wilds go back in the offense zone. He'll fire that one to Foligno again. Foligno pass to Hughes. Deep zone. Rogers scores! Marcus Foligno, are you kidding me? Watch what happens with King Hughes. He's going to give it a big range, and this is where Marcus Foligno, he's going to get 2. And this pass gives a one-timer. Watch what the speed range is. He goes 97 miles per hour. He just passed that one quickly. Wow. What happens when you don't really see this? That's when our screen comes in. That one was a hugest to make that rip. That quick timing really made it through. Minnesota back up for 2, and this is now a 6-14 game left for Marcus Foligno. He's looking to get 3 if he can get another goal. I'm going to say he might do it.
His 11th goal of the season, his second goal in the game, scored by number 17, Marcus Foligno. Assisted by
so
number
a lot of
43,
great effectiveness between 80 over 86. Minnesota is up by 2.
And by number 7, Rock Faber.
And a win for Anaheim as here's Huddleston.
Time to
You will
go,
now
15
have
minutes,
it rolling
46 seconds in the third period.
Marcus
Marcus Foligno, his second goal of the game.
Last
his
season they couldn't make their win against the Golden
Hughes
Knights
and Brock
as they were
Faber
at T-Mobile
at the
Arena.
time, and
The biggest range of the win
46 seconds
was
in the
ever
third
going to
period.
take. And they couldn't win the Stanley Cup playoffs the last postseason. It was not short as the Vegas Golden Knights had made that win. There was no way that they really had been keeping it into as they rolled it out. As for Anaheim Ducks, they beat the other team, which used to be known as the Arizona Coyotes, but it's now known as the Utah Hockey Club. They won an OT in Anaheim at the Honda Center. What makes it stand alone point is that the Anaheim Ducks have been really working it out. There's no other way to place it out, but that's where they're really pushing it in. I gotta say this, I mean, the Anaheim Ducks has been really like keeping it up for wondering. They don't seem to get going. Oh, wow. That goal was going to be back in there for Granlund. You see that? That's where the bad mistake happens. Now, I'm saying what happens to Anaheim Ducks, they've really been showing it off and trying to get that goal and tie that one again, but now this is the big turnover. He messed that one up. That's where the goaltender was not really seen, and he wants to help things out. But then this is where it goes back into Mikael Granlund. He had that snapshot, a quick release. And this is where it happens with this. When this is where I need to get room, and now Granlund, he's been like knocking it in here. That's where really has to like pay back out and get that down to 1. Just 4 minutes remaining as he had that shot on goal, unassisted by the team with only 16 minutes shot time on the goal. And now here's the other way by Hughes. They'll have that pass over to Faber. The Faber pass to Tarasenko, and a big kid back the other way into Minnesota territory. Pass to Trenton. Cut motion, blocked to left, rebounded by Anaheim. Colangelo, deep the zone, and back to Brock
Score for
Faber.
Anaheim. His first goal of the game is
the other way to give over to
career,
Trenton.
his 8th of the season.
Yakov Trenton.
Scored by number 64,
On to
unassisted.
Urov.
Mikael Granlund.
Urov.
7 goal, 60
Pass
minutes
to
in the third
Juracek.
period. That's Mikael
Urov
Granlund, his
again,
8th goal of the
Middleton.
season.
No cut
His
motion
180
here.
of his
Now back
career.
to Poland.
First goal of the game.
Poland's on
Unassisted
the
by a
attack.
team. At the time of the third
A
period,
shot.
16 minutes.
Stop that Gustafson. Just under 2:30 remaining in the third period as he'll be ready for another puck drop. Big saving on the range happens with Harkins. This is where the skating comes in to make the speed and has that hit. He really had that one knocking it in. Who are the best player in the game of the night? I will now send it over is Ray Ferraro. Thanks, guys. I was knowing the puck is releasing it, and what happens with Quinn Hughes? He makes that one with the hugest save. There's no ways to have that denying effort of what happens with Quinn Hughes. He has that one coming back in zones. The quick release doesn't stand a play on his own area. That zone is going to definitely make that dropping and have that zone. Timing is releasement for Quinn Hughes, and he'll have his next time effort for the next team matchup. I'll have it on a discussion for the next game. But for now, Foligno to the teammate by Quinn, he does it all. Guys, thanks, Ray. Now find a Kaprizov nearing down to a final minute in the third. And Granlund is going to have to give it over again. Pass middle, Galore shot.
Just 1 minute remaining in the third period.
Oh, fans been loving it that good with under a minute remaining in the third. And he really had showed it all. Crowd starts rising. As we get an extra attacker for Anaheim Ducks as they're trying to look for a tying game for the team. Under a minute remaining in the third as they win the faceoff. Instead of deep pass, goes out of the way, and that'll be an icing on Minnesota. just about nearing under a minute remaining in the third period. They are still working on it. Minnesota Wilds can go back onto the win for home, and they'll enjoy it. What a catch by Gustafsson. And Hughes is giving it out of here. Here comes Hyatt. Pass looking at Stroza. He couldn't get there that time. And Jacob Trouba. The match man is on. Goaltender as Dostal heads to the bench. McTavish. Faber. Pass to Foligno. And he had it to Stroza. He gets it to Foligno! Oh, he just had it off the goalpost. And I thought he would have to finish it all. Hell, he did. He would almost have 3. And now, Foligno is going to definitely do it. Bingo! Foligno has 3 goals. It's a hat-trick. And fans, give the hats for Foligno. Well, so many attempts here, and I was excited on, and now you get Foligno with that range in the net. And this is where he dips it, and he has that empty range with the goal. It's easy to say when but so far, the spotting on from Marcus Foligno, he was really up to a chance. Now the power is range, he has a puck in zone.
That was where season his third of the game, scoring a hat-trick on an empty net.
And now wrap things up. The Wilds have taken a lead, and that will be the home for the victory. Phil Gustafsson wins over the Studs
by number 7, Brock Faber.
And that's where you expect an on-tested
empty net
really
goal,
kicking it
19
off
minutes,
nicely,
50 seconds.
and he ends up the game. How about the bold and Atlanta 1,000 acres?
Thank you, Wilds fans, for joining for tonight's game. As we look forward to our next critical matchup as they face against for our next different teams. Be sure to grab your tickets online here at wilds.com to secure your seats and prepare for the upcoming game. Thank you all folks for coming, and please get home safely.
And Gelatin, I'm OJ. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. Good night, everyone. All right, OJ, thank you so much. The Wilds have now taken the win, and here are the 3-star players. Brock Faber with 2 assists and 2 gets. He only has done it to have that one with the block range and keeping it out. Then, a 2nd star might have been taking over to Foligno to give it the other way, but Quinn Hughes made with the 1 goal, 1 assist, and 5 gets. After this pass, this gives Quinn Hughes with some unlucky ticks and a bounce, and that one goes right toward the net. That one will give him some credits to have it on. And your 1st-star player of the game goes to Marcus Foligno. 3 goals is the magic number to be. From the quick timing from Quinn Hughes, he looks for a tape-to-tape zone to send it, and this pass range is right for 97 miles to have the empty net next. And here are the final statistics. 46/28 shots on goal for Minnesota, 46/21 for Anaheim. There was 17-24/319 time on attack for Minnesota. Then it was 88/87 for Minnesota. And finally, it was 23/16 for Anaheim. Well, I've never been standing it up at this point. Minnesota Wilds have been dominating, and now the Wilds will have the rest up and have it packed up for the next game. Well, folks, I hope you enjoyed for game number 7, and we'll be seeing you next time for game number 8. As the Kraken are home to face against the New Jersey Devils from Newark, New Jersey. This might be what they're called for, a big East versus West matchup. Well, that being said, thank you all for watching, and as for being said, so long everyone for as a while as the NHL 26 gameplay dial. Along with the crews of OJ from Minnesota, and Gelatin, along with Ray Ferraro and Terry Crews, I'm Son of Beast. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Good night, everyone.
If you don't, somebody will.